There are many things that make an anime good, but there is one primary factor that can make an anime even better. What is that, you may ask? Well, that would be its premise, the main overarching goal that guides an anime's story. In this video, we are going to explore a couple of factors that contribute to the change of a premise in an anime, movies, and companies.
Have you ever watched an anime series over time and noticed a sudden shift in the story and its overall tones? If not, then chances are you've been lucky enough to find a series that sticks to its original premise. However, as you can most likely already tell, this is not always the case. And one of the prime examples of this would be My Hero Academia's premise shift in its third movie, World Heroes Mission. My Hero Academia is a manga created by Horikoshi Kohei, which was later animated and aired as an anime in 2016. The story is about the protagonist, Midoriya Izuku, or Deku, who wants to accomplish his goal of being a professional hero. The only problem is, he has no abilities or quirk, which basically means that he's powerless. Later on in the story, by chance he meets All Might, the #1 pro hero and his ultimate role model. All Might, who's impressed by his heroic bravery despite being quirkless, chooses Izuku to be his successor and grants him a share of his power. Unfortunately, in order to do that, he has to eat a strand of All Might's hair.
This gift, you earned it with your own valiant efforts. Eat this!
We can see that the premise, or the main overarching goal of the story, can be seen as Izuku's desire to become the #1 pro hero. This is crucial to the story because it's essentially what keeps fans watching. So when that premise changes in the movie, what could possibly keep them watching? In 2021, the My Hero Academia series came out with its third film, World Heroes Mission. In this movie, instead of the premise being focused on Midoriya's goal of becoming the #1 pro hero, it instead shifts its focus on a new mission that he embarks on with the help of his classmates Bakugo Katsuki and Todoroki Shoto. For this mission, the three of them are tasked with taking down a murderous cult called Humarais that's intent on killing all those with powers or quirks. Humarais does this because of their belief that one day quirks will become so powerful that they'll destroy all of humanity. Somewhere along the lines, Izuku ends up at the wrong place at the wrong time and is wrongly blamed for the murder of civilians, forcing him to be on the run as a wanted criminal. Izuku also encounters a new character named Rodi Sol, who is a resourceful and crafty local of the area that joins Izuku along on his quest to clear his name and take down Humarais. It's clear as day that the main premise of this movie is very different compared to the series. So why did this happen and what did it result in? Well, when making a movie out of a long-running series, there are two main things that have to be taken into consideration: time constraints and the series canon. Typically, and in order to work with time constraints, the directors and screenwriters tend to follow a quick formulaic plotline in movies which consists of rising action, a climax, and a resolution. By using this, they can easily wrap up a story in 1 to 3 hours. As for the canon, which can be defined as parts or arcs in a story that the series creator or creators agree upon, they avoid the risk of damaging it by coming up with a different premise or overarching goal for the characters. As a result, this gives fans of the series more content to enjoy while viewing their favorite characters on screen. Additionally, even though the anime itself has also had moments where it starts to become more dark, the movie certainly kicks it up a notch, with its opening scene being that of people with quirks being killed by gas released by Humarais. This boldly displays how My Hero Academia shifted from having a more light-hearted, humorous, and adventurous tone to a more mature and dark one in the movie, all due to changes made from its original.
I can't believe that I already have 3 of the balls! If I keep this up, I'll be able to wish for a boyfriend by the end of the month! This is so exciting! You are going to let me use your dress.
We now know that the production of a movie based on a series can aid in the change of its premise. However, it isn't the only thing that can influence this change. Changes in premise can also be created through the company itself. We can see this in the popular anime and manga series, Dragon Ball. The story starts with Akira Toriyama, the 29-year-old mastermind behind Dragon Ball, who originally only wanted it to be 10 volumes. The original premise of Dragon Ball follows a boy Goku and his partner in crime Bulma, who embark on a journey to collect the 7 Dragon Balls. Shonen Jump soon found interest in this manga that was rising in popularity, and Toriyama soon found himself writing over 66 volumes to this day for the story of Dragon Ball. Throughout the mini-series, yes, series, you can see the premise shift as the characters become more and more powerful, and the Dragon Balls became a way for characters to be revived or powered up, as seen in the recent movie Dragon Ball Super Superhero, where Piccolo gets his potential unleashed by Shenron. Shifts in the narrative can be divided into 2 categories: tone and theme. Dragon Ball, originally a story about adventure, turned into a story about action and saving the world. Throughout the show, we have lost many characters, with key characters from the original 10 volumes Lunch completely disappearing, and characters such as Yamcha losing screen time. The loss of Lunch and Yamcha results in a loss of comic relief. The show completely shifted from a light-hearted tone to an intense tone. As I have touched on before, the main theme of Dragon Ball before the premise change was to set off on a journey to collect the Dragon Balls through teamwork to overcome the challenges.
It's about time!
Hey, what's the deal? Are those guys bad or what?
Bruh.
Yes, get them!
You bullies! Only scaredy cats use guns.
However, the theme soon shifted from adventure through teamwork to fighting to become stronger independently. Now we know how Shonen Jump has caused a change in the Dragon Ball premise and narrative. But why is this significant? Well, I'm glad you asked. Examples of audience reception when the tone was modified can be seen through the loss of female readership and plot devices such as Deus Ex Machina. In an article published to Geek Girl Senshi on May 1st, 2015, writer Maria Shield talks about her discontent with the clear neglect of female characters in Dragon Ball, saying, "In Dragon Ball, we only got 3 main female characters, and 2 out of those 3 went on to continue their story in Z. This is a clear response to the loss of Lunch after the original Dragon Ball series. It isn't hard to see why there was a loss of female viewership, as they were more likely drawn to stories such as Sailor Moon. Furthermore, with plot devices such as Deus Ex Machina, viewers such as myself felt a different emotion when thinking of the use of the Dragon Balls for the second time. The first time the Dragon Balls were originally introduced for Bulma to wish for the perfect boyfriend, but ended up being used for Oolong to wish for a pair of panties. However, the second instance when the Dragon Balls were introduced was when Krillin and Master Roshi, 2 of the most prevalent characters in the anime, were killed, and the Dragon Balls were thought of as a way to revive them. So no more were the Dragon Balls used as a goal for adventure, they were used as a way for the characters to become stronger and defeat the overall villain, or to be revived. To us viewers, this change was significant, and many of us started viewing Dragon Ball differently.
That wraps up our topic. We have talked about the premises and how they can be influenced by factors such as movies and companies. I hope this sums up everything to know about the premises, and I hope you enjoyed our presentation.